Welcome to the very first episode of Minded by Jay. I am Jamie, and this podcast is a space for honest, sincere reflection about mindset, growth, discipline, and the thoughts that we don't slow down long enough to uncover for ourselves. Today's word that I want to talk about is the word ownership, a word that's associated with accountability, and a word that also holds a lot of freaking power. I want to talk about how the word ownership can feel heavy or negative, and how simply reframing and rephrasing the word can give us back the control for our lives. Ownership feels like blame. We hear it when things go wrong. This is your fault, we often hear. When I hear the word ownership, my first response is definitely not empowerment. It's a sense of pressure. It's a feeling of, I should have done better. I should have been better. Or I should have known better. I should have handled it differently. Those self doubts often creep in when we are told to take ownership. Now, I want you to take all of that. I want you to set it aside and I want you to take like 5 steps back. What if we could rephrase or reframe the word ownership to be a positive rather than a negative? Ownership doesn't mean that you caused everything, it just means that you get to choose what happens next. I have reached the point in my life where I am finally able to see the word ownership differently than I have for most of my life. And it has been the most refreshing experience that I can describe. I see it now not as a punishment, but as a vehicle, simply as a way to get from point A to point B. For example, I want to get shredded in the gym. Okay, then you need to take ownership. Okay, I get in the vehicle A. Vehicle A is ownership. I know that if I own the shit out of my results, I'm going to get to point B because I have the keys. I get to control what happens. I get to be ripped because I am so willing to take ownership. There's been many points in my life where I have not taken ownership. I am serious. For a majority of my life, I feel like I have just coasted. I have just been coasting, kind of just doing what everyone else is doing. Like, what are the social norms? Until a couple years ago, I was like, no, we're not doing this anymore. That doesn't make me happy. I'm not finding purpose in going through the motions of life. What's the point? Life is short. Be different. Take ownership. Ownership gives you movement. Motion always beats no motion every single time. If you're taking ownership of your situation, you're going to get through it. Life is a little bit out to get you in certain ways, in certain mindsets. It's out to get you. And you have the decision, am I going to get through this or not? And if you are willing to get through it and are wanting to get through it, you're going to take ownership because ownership is the vehicle that's going to get you from point A to point B. It might suck right now. It might really freaking suck. But you know that if you put in the work every day and take ownership of what you can control, it's eventually going to end. You're eventually going to meet the end and you're eventually going to look back and be like, damn, I'm proud of myself. I took ownership and I got through that mess. And you know what? Bring it on, life, because I can do it. You're going to be gritty. You're going to know that you can get through whatever life comes and brings you. The moment I take ownership of something, I am no longer stuck waiting around for somebody else. It's incredibly uncomfortable because you're going to get to a point where you're trying to make motion and the people around you are not going to want to make motion, right? You're going to look around and be like, oh, they're still here. They're still wanting to do this. Yeah, well, maybe you've outgrown that space and maybe you're taking ownership in ways where they can't. And that's extremely uncomfortable. But you know what else? It's freeing as hell. It's freeing as hell leaving behind things that aren't meant for you because that's going to create things and opportunities that are meant for you. If you're listening to this, maybe you're going through something really freaking heavy right now. And if that's the case, I want you to think about, what can I control in this situation? What do I still have the rights to in this situation? And more times than not, you're going to have your fingers pointed back at you because, again, you are in control. Ownership isn't about being hard on yourself, it's about being honest with yourself and owning what you can control. This has been Minded by Jay. I'll see you next time.